Okay, hey, RJ Petty here from Speakeasy Primates. I'm here with Roger Price and Nathan Baker. We're here at S.P.A.C.E 2011. Got our con table set up. We're pretty proud and pleased to debut a new book at S.P.A.C.E this year, Inspiration, Poetry, and Paint. Just literally got this back from the printers a couple days ago. This was gallery show that the painter Roy James did as a series of acrylic canvases, all based on the poetry of Joe Patterson, who in addition had his poems on display at the gallery for the show and everything, and they came to us and asked us to do the book for it, and we were more than happy to publish it and put it here and include it with our speakeasy stuff. It's great being here at S.P.A.C.E again. Bob puts on a good show. We have a blast. You guys wanted to say anything about what you're working on? What do you got right there?
Just a little inking on one of Stan Nelson's pencils, Voodoo Monkey. One of our, not quite the full issue.
Yeah, we got some mini prints to go along with Voodoo Monkey this year, along with the mini comic. We're having a blast. Voodoo Monkey is also available on inkbot.net this year, where we're releasing the comic in 6-page installments as a webcomic. Feel free to check that out. They have a lot of amazing webcomics on inkbot.net. And of course, you can always catch any of us Speakeasy guys on Facebook. Nathan, you also have some side projects going. Nathan published a short story in the anthology from Atlas Comics this year. What was the name of this anthology? Schizophrenia? And then his was the title, the title debut story, Static Lullaby. He wrote. It's going pretty good. So yeah, we're having a lot of fun with Speakeasy this year. We published a couple of collections of short stories, strange characters and sardonic stories. Southpaw Smith from Scott Claringbold. Got my first collection of poetry, Gist, Poetic Perspectives, out here this year. So we're having a blast. Thanks a lot to the guys from UVN stopping by and giving us a hand, checking us out and giving a little shout out for us online. Do you want to add anything, Nathan? You good? All right, good. All right, cool. See you guys again next year at S.P.A.C.E.
Hi, I'm Robin Seal. I write and draw the webcomic The Watcher of Yathagu, found at watchercomic.com. I am at S.P.A.C.E selling my mini comic, The Monster's Self, A Bit of Love, which is 26 pages of a monsters wooing ladies, which is pretty spectacular. And it is a fan among small children and people that like Yetis.
I'm Jordan Lowe. I'm the writer for Paradox City. Since the last time we've talked to UVN, we've launched our webcomic Short Pants Romance, which the first collection we've just put out this year. It's about a kid sidekick, kind of the Burt Ward of his day. But he's grown up now. He's pushing 30, and his life didn't quite turn out like he thought. He's not sure if he still wants to be a hero or just kind of coast on his fame, and he's trying to figure it out. We've also put out an anthology with the group I'm involved in, OVAL, the Ohio Valley Artists League. It's a public domain anthology starring heroes from the 40s. Superhero stories that we've kind of appropriated and turned into something new. So we want to put one of those anthologies out every year with a different theme. Now on to Zach.
Hello, my name is Zach Brooker. This is my first full comic published work. Is The Regulators. It's a science fiction western. Be on the lookout for Strange Books in Paper, which is a feature of horror and fantasy short stories.
I'm E.J. Barnes, and I've come all the way from Massachusetts to come to S.P.A.C.E. And I'm an illustrator, cartoonist, gag cartoonist, editorial cartoonist, as well as comic creator. I work in watercolor, ink wash, and scratch board, as well as gouache. And I've brought with me some of my comics, including a series called Tales of the Ling Master, which are based on the short stories of Blaster Al Ackerman, who's one of my favorite short story writers. I even carry his book of short stories. He's given me permission to make comics based on his short stories about the Ling Master, who's sort of a takeoff on the old pulp heroes. He's really sort of the Don Quixote of that genre, because he read a lot of pulps as a kid, and he's sort of this marginal character on the edge of society, but he really does want to be a hero. So the only people he can help are bigger losers than he is. And that's all in black and white with gray tones in Photoshop. And I've put out 3 volumes of these. Each of these contains 3 complete stories based on the original Ling Master stories. I also have a watercolor travelogue of my trip to Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, which I took in 2003. It's called Birds of the Baltic because it's held together by the theme of the birds that we saw on our trip. It wasn't a birding trip, but we just kept noticing birds we'd never seen before. And that actually started as a 24-hour comic, but obviously with that kind of color, that doesn't get finished in 24 hours. It took me 8 days to paint 24 pages. I've also got my actually successful 24-hour comic, which is How Dear to Me is Sleep. I did it on the subject of something I wasn't going to get any of. And that's done in marker, including black and gray marker. And that was actually finished in 18 and a half hours. My latest is all in scratchboard. I have illustrated a poem by Jonathan Swift called A Beautiful Young Nymph Going to Bed. It's an account of a prostitute in London going home at the end of her day and taking out her glass eye and her false teeth, and it does get pretty graphic and disgusting, which is Jonathan Swift for you. I also, since I'm a gag cartoonist, I've had printed up a whole bunch of greeting cards based on cartoons I've done, both black and white and in watercolor. And and I'm also a member of the Boston Comics Roundtable, which, as the name implies, is based in Boston. We actually have a whole bunch of people from all over eastern Massachusetts, and even one fellow who comes down from New Hampshire. We have a couple of anthology series, Inbound and Outbound. Outbound is our science fiction anthology series. Many of the stories in this are serialized from one issue to the next, whereas Inbound is a different topic every issue. This is issue 5. It's the food issue, and I have a story in that. So my website is EJ www.ejbarnes.com. Thanks.